Welcome back, fellas, to another Super Bowl preview. This is going to be more of a straightforward preview than our last one. Our last one was with all the boys. It was podcast style. But I know a lot of you guys just want the straight picks and my reasonings for them. We've been cooking in the NBA, so let's transfer that over to the NFL as well as we have been there. So we'll start with the recap over the past playoff weekends. Starting in the wild card round, we went down 0.22 units. We were able to salvage some of our value, but at the end of the day, we broke damn near even and ended up losing 0.22 units that day. Heading to the divisional round, we went up 5.29 units on that day. We're able to crush it that weekend and take advantage of some big touchdown parlays as well as Saquon going off. The next weekend on the championship weekend, we were able to capitalize on 8.2 units. We went up pretty big, took Saquon Barkley plus 3 touchdowns as well as plus 2 touchdowns, and we got lucky with some other picks as well. So we were able to dominate 2 of the past 3 weekends. Let's now do it in the Super Bowl. I'm going to waste no time, and let's hop straight into the picks that I have, starting with Jalen Hurts to go over 9.5 rushing attempts. We can get this at good value, plus 105 on DraftKings, which is where I'm going to be taking it. Kansas City allows the 8th most rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks this season, as well as they've struggled to contain some quarterbacks that we are very familiar with. Significant rushing attempts would be Josh Allen with 11. CJ Stroud, who we all know has not been running the rock, had 6 attempts against this team going over his line. Bo Nix had 7 attempts, as well as even Russell Wilson, the old man himself, had 6 attempts against the team, all cashing their over on their attempts. Not only that, but the Eagles have a tush push. I mean, obviously, we all know the tush push by now. That is a guaranteed 3 to 4 attempts a game. Not only that, but the things that you guys aren't probably thinking about, hey, taking a knee at halftime, that counts as a rushing attempt. If he takes a knee at the end of the game, say the Birds win, that's a rushing attempt at the end of the game. So these are all things we like to look at. He ran the ball 10 times despite being hurt last week against the Commanders, and that was really banged up. Now he's 2 weeks of rest, 2 weeks to get his knee ready. They have to have him be a running factor if they want Saquon to get loose. So I expect him to do a lot of pulls and for him to easily cash on this rushing attempt line. Our second bet, we're going to be staying with the Birds as we're going to take Dallas Goedert to go over 49.5 receiving yards. Kansas City allows the most receiving yards to tight ends. They allow the most receptions to tight ends. Dallas has been a clear focal point in this offense as they're trying to go to more of a short passing scheme, and he's being a check down god for Jalen Hurts as he's averaging 70 yards in the past 2 games. He has a signature crossing route that this Birds team loves to do in the Kellen Moore offense, where he will get open 9 out of 10 times off the play action, and they're going to keep running it until someone figures it out. I understand Spags is one of the best DCs, but I still think they're going to need Dallas Goedert to be a huge factor here because they're going to shadow over A.J. Brown. They're going to force Devontae Smith to make contact, and they're going to have Dallas Goedert be the one outlier on this team, and I expect him to have a big day. Jalen Hurts has completed 13 of 14 passes for 240 passing yards when targeting Dallas Goedert on 3rd down this season. That includes 8 first downs on those attempts, so clearly he's a 3rd down go-to guy, and I expect him, again, that results in a 106, plus 106% win probability. That's insane. So again, clearly a go-to guy for him. I expect him to continue that big boost and for him to easily clear this 49.5 receiving yards. Also, we're getting some value here. On some books, he's all the way up to 54.5 receiving yards. So the fact that we're getting him at 49 here on FanDuel at minus 110 feels like really good value. Our next play, we're going to take Xavier Worthy to go over 54.5 receiving yards. This is minus 110 on DraftKings. Since week 15, he's run 83% of the routes or more. Mostly on every other game, yeah, he's had more than 83%. In one game, I think it was week 16, he had 83%. But since then, he's also averaging a 27% target share in this offense. He clearly is the focal point in this offense down the receiving room, coming off an 85-yard receiving game against the Buffalo Bills where he looked damn near unstoppable. He was playing out of his mind, way better than I could ever. Not really remember, I was an Xavier Worthy hater coming into the draft. I didn't think he would be. Now, again, I didn't view him as the way that Kansas City's viewing him, as the way they're making him look amazing by using him in a ton of motion. I mean, he's motioned in 33.7% of his snaps this postseason. That's insane. That's up almost 18% from where he was earlier this season. So he's just destroying his motion percentages and going through the roof with it. that is the best way to get him open. He's not a physical receiver. They need to get him involved in orbit motions and swing passes and all these sort of different creative ways to get him the ball early, and they've been doing that. Worthy's target rate on plays where he goes in motion has jumped significantly, increasing from 26% all the way to 42.3% in this postseason. So again, he's seeing a ton of targets out of it. He averaged 11.3 air yards through the first 13 weeks. They were like, hey, clearly this isn't fucking working. Using him as a field stretcher isn't the thing to do. So now he's down to 4.8 yards, but he has a ton of yak. So I really like his receiving line here. You can get a discount on some other books for whatnot, but I got a 54.5 minus 110 on FanDuel. I think that's the best odds you can take. Or sorry, minus 110 on DraftKings, excuse me. I think that's the best odds you can take for him as of right now. Heading on to our next play, we're going to be taking Patrick Mahomes to go over 224.5 passing yards plus Kansas City money line. So this is going to be a play. Again, this is for my unit. My unit is I'm very transparent about it. $25 is my unit. Again, I don't have the money to be throwing around $100 units. So I use 25 and I'm very, very happy with that. But Patrick Mahomes to go over 224.5 passing yards plus Kansas City Chiefs money line in a parlay is normally just plus 141. Well, now we get it a plus 118 on FanDuel. They're doing a promo for it. So I'm going to take full advantage of that because I love this line. Mahomes, I understand, went under this line versus the Birds in the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago. I completely understand that. I am not worried about that one bit. He's hit over this in 3 of 4 Super Bowls, having over 300 yards in a few of them. Not only that, but he's hit over this in 61% of games just this season, where we're all saying he's just had a horrible down year. But again, he's recorded a 75% completion percentage and averaging 10.8 air yards per attempt against single high coverage through the first 2 playoff games. Patrick Mahomes recorded his top 3 games in EPA per dropback over the last 4 games, averaging a plus 0.36 EPA over those few games. So he's clearly just in the zone right now, and I think he's going to have to be, as the Eagles defense, especially the run defense, is going to be like, okay, here's just like my non-bot, like me just saying this real on the YouTube video. Kareem Hunt fucking stinks, and Isaiah Pacheco is clearly not healthy. Those are the 2 things that clearly scream out to me. Now they're playing an Eagles defense that is one of the best run defenses, if not the best run defense, next to the Chiefs in all of the NFL. I understand Kareem Hunt could be a thumper down at the goal line and he could score some touchdowns and take away from Patrick Mahomes, but the way they're going to get down the field is not on the ground. And I think everybody and their mom can see that if they know ball. Patrick Mahomes is going to have to clearly do the Xavier Worthy quick slip screens. They're going to have to target Travis Kelce in the middle of the field, attack the backup linebackers in Burks. Bond has been great this season, but I understand that they're probably going to have to target him because they don't want to be targeting the rookies outside, as they have been amazing, and I don't think the Chiefs really have those weapons. I think D-Hop's going to have to get heavily involved in this game as well, as he's realistically has the best hands in the entire game. So with that being said, Mahomes is going to have to do it all. And I think getting him at 224.5, his line is over 250 right now. Again, he's been effective versus defenses that have played man coverage. He's faced 41.3% of his dropbacks against man coverage, and he's completed 41 of 56 passes for 562 yards and 2 touchdowns since week 16. That's good for 10 yards an attempt against man coverage, and we all know exactly what the Birds want to do is run a ton of man, and run a ton of cover 4 to drop back. They're gonna run a ton of cover 2 man as well. They run a ton of 2 high safeties, so I expect to see that, and for Patrick Mahomes to be able to pepper underneath and get a ton of yak and just have a lot of volume today and easily crush over the line. Plus, I like the Kansas City Chiefs money line, as I'm also going to pair that. And for our last play, we're going to be pairing that with Chiefs -2, which is plus 100 on ESPN Bet. You feel great about this line, as the Chiefs have been clearly, in my opinion, looking like an unstoppable force. Not only that, but I like the Chiefs matchup in this game, as well as we're getting some value here at -2. Every other book has it at -1, -1.5, excuse me, and it's for like -105 value, -110, -115. I'm willing to take on the push at the +2 than have me lose value at the -1.5. Again, if this game is won, I think it's going to be won by a field goal. I think it's going to be won by 7 points. I don't see it being a 1-point score game. It's very, very, very rare in the NFL for games to finish within 1. So getting it at +2 feels fantastic for +100 value. You're getting at least your money back when we win. It's even money. So you feel great about an even money play here for some pretty good value on ESPN Bet. So yeah, I feel great about that. I feel great about the parlay between Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs money line at +118. That feels like a good steal as well. So feeling great about these plays. That's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Again, Chiefs -2 +100. Patrick Mahomes over 224.5 passing yards plus Kansas City money line for +218. Xavier Worthy for over 54.5 receiving yards for -110. Dallas Goedert over 49.5 receiving yards for -110, as well as Jalen Hurts over 9.5 rushing attempts at +105. You feel great about these lines. I really, really like them. If you want to sprinkle in some Patrick Mahomes rushing yards, I also really like that play, so you can mix and match there. These are the plays I feel great about. Let me know what you guys feel in the comments below and what you guys are thinking this way is going to go. I understand there's a ton of people on the birds, and I completely understand where you're coming from. It is a complete toss-up of a game. Obviously, that's hence why the spread is where it is. So I'm excited to hear your guys' thoughts and what you guys think the way this game is going to go. So make sure to comment that down below. Let me know if you guys are fading, tailing, whatnot, and make sure to like, subscribe, and all that sort of fun shit. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.